So I didn't make a video last week because, well, reasons. So this week, we're going to rapid fire away through 4 different races. We're going to hit Indy GP, the Cup race at Kansas, Imola, and the NASCAR All-Star race, all in one video, because yay efficiency. The Sanzio Grand Prix at the Indy road course. A course layout that looks like it was created by your drunk uncle's attempt to mow the infield. IndyCar mandated 4 different sets of tires, a used and sticker set of both the alternates and the primary, because why make things simple to follow? Kiffin Simpson's car dies before the race even starts, mostly out of protest for a hideous livery, and Joseph Newgarden came down pit road for a new radio, losing his starting spot. The field goes into turn 1, led by Alex Palou, but Graham Rahal says, "Hold my beer," and sends it around the outside, gaining first place. At the end of the lap, Colton Herta gets his wing clipped and goes down a lap. He would go on to unlap himself under green before retiring with mechanical issues. I swear Colton Herta could bend over to pick up a penny off the sidewalk and get hit by a bus, then a trash truck which would catch fire, and then hit by the fire truck sent to put the fire out. Anyway, Palou overtakes Rahal on track, and IndyCar passes 400 laps of green flag racing without a caution. But then David Malukas decides on lap 69 it is the perfect time to fuck everything up, and parks it in the grass, bringing out the caution. Yes, here we go. Let's bunch up the field, and someone can run down Palou before he can... He won. Again. So Alex Palou is the destroyer of dreams and will not be stopped. Now, at this point in the original script, I was going to do a whole long rant about the broadcast and how I struggle to follow along, but because we're trying to do this quickly, here are the highlights. 1, I'm a moron. 2, liveries are not consistent week to week. 3, the timing tower was designed by Stevie Wonder. 4, the announcing is as insightful as the Ovaltine decoder ring from A Christmas Story. 5, Fox forgot we all tuned in for the race, not for ads. Now on to the Advent Health 400 at Kansas for NASCAR. Now Fox kept hyping up this race, reminding us that last year's Kansas race ended with the closest ever finish in a NASCAR race. Did we get that again this year? No. And to keep this video from becoming longer than my list of reasons to jump off a bridge, this is going to be super abbreviated. Kyle Larson was on pole, AJ Allmendinger announced the election of the new pope, and Denny Hamlin's clutch decided to work as hard as the average Frenchman. After AJ Allmendinger's engine went Mamma Mia, we got through the rest of Stage 1 and Stage 2 under green. On lap 195, Brad Keselowski was running second, but blows a tire and smacks the wall, ending his day. Brad is maybe the only other driver in the world with worse luck than Colton Herta. Later in the evening, Brad was seen wandering the garage area, cursing the sky. On the restart on lap 201, Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, and Cody Ware all tangle in turn 2. Ty Dillon in the 10 gets a little loose, pushing him up into the side of Cody Ware, spinning him in front of Daniel Suarez. For this obvious crime against humanity, Ty Dillon was sentenced to 100 years of listening to his grandfather, Richard Childress, saying he's a disappointment to the family on loop. During the next restart on lap 207, Kyle Busch is the inside car of a 4-wide battle, with Noah Gragson, Josh Berry, and Ross Chastain. Josh and Ross get together a bit on the backstretch, and it looks to me like Ross came down on Josh and pushed him into Noah. This sends Noah back down the track and into Kyle, shooting him across the apron and beaching him in the grass. Kyle did not take that well. The races since Kyle Busch has won counter is now at 69. Nice. For this obvious violation of the Geneva Suggestions, Ross Chastain was sentenced to 30 years of watching his shitty Busch beer commercial on loop. Then on the next restart on lap 213, the shit show continues. Justin Haley, Eric Jones, and Bubba Wallace all crash. Corey Heim is one of a string of cars that is 5 wide. He gets a bit loose, clipping Justin Haley and sending him into the side of Eric Jones. This all happens directly in front of Bubba Wallace and Austin Dillon, who both get collected. Justin Haley will drive his car in reverse all the way back around to pit road, and I think that was done mostly out of spite. This ends Eric Jones's and Bubba Wallace's day. Corey Heim would go on to be duct taped to the front of a ballistic missile and shot at Ross Chastain. On the next restart on lap 219, we managed to make it one lap around under green. Let's throw a parade. So Kyle Larson wins the race and even manages to do so while losing his right front tire. Christopher Bell was a second and a half behind at the white flag, but the tire going down brought that lead down to 3/4 of a second. Moving on, let's talk about Imola in F1, Ferrari's home race. There's zero chance that Ferrari doesn't win this one. They didn't win. They didn't even make it into Q3. But let's back up. During qualifying, Yuki Tsunoda hits a curb and gets yeeted into the wall while doing his best gymnastics impression. Not ideal there, Yuki. Also in qualifying, Franco Colapinto took time to honor the driver he usurped by crashing in QP1. RIP Jack Doohan, I hope you enjoy endurance racing. Also, being Ferrari's home race, you'd think that they'd show up for a fight at the front. They both got knocked out in Q2. So on Sunday, the field lines up behind Oscar Piastri, and it's lights out and made the bullshit commence. Oscar had the lead going into turn 2, but Max Verstappen remembered he was supposed to be good and drove around Piastri on the outside and fucked off into the distance. At one point, we had Pierre and Alex forgetting they were in F1 cars and not dune buggies. We had Esteban Ocon and Kimi Antonelli parking their cars on the side of the track, and the general chaos of an F1 race. So Max wins the race, Lando gets second, Oscar third, and the Ferraris made a respectable recovery drive to 4th and 6th. Now moving on to the NASCAR All-Star race at North Wilkesboro, a race for $1 million and nothing else. Going in, Carson Hocevar won the open race, John Hunter Nemechek got second, and Noah Gragson, for some reason, won the fan vote, meaning that they could all make it into the main race. Also of note was Harrison Burton, who was not running in Cup this year, but was eligible for his win at the Daytona Summer Race last year, because NASCAR's rules are nothing but consistent. So Brad Keselowski leads the field to green, but being Brad Keselowski has problems and promptly disappears from existence. So the race moves on, and there's some really good action up and down the field. Cars actually trying to pass, 3 wide battles, good short track racing. Long story short, because Jesus, we're trying to cover 4 races and I can't keep it all straight, Joey Logano gets the lead late and is running away with it until NASCAR, sensing that what we the fans desperately want is another gimmick, has the promoter's caution that can be thrown any time between lap 1 and 220. So they get Michael Waltrip to climb his squirrely ass into the flag stand and throw a caution late in the race for no reason. See, back in the day, we would call that a caution for debris. Anyway, Mikey waves a flag to pack up the field and proceeds to drop the flag on the track. Mikey, I know your whole personality can be described as goober, but Jesus Christ, get it together. So the field gets bunched back up and some of the cars come into pit. Joey Logano stays out in the lead and teammate Ryan Blaney stays out beside him. And Christopher Bell and the rest of the field come in and take 2 tires. So on the restart, Ryan Blaney decided to not try and actually win and get shuffled all the way back to the back. Christopher Bell ends up side by side with Joey Logano. And this is when the war crime happened. Well, according to Joey Logano, Christopher Bell respectfully and humbly requested Joey get the fuck out of the way, politely guides him out of the groove, and takes the lead. In all seriousness, Bell moved him out of the way, but listening to Joey, you would have thought that Christopher Bell pulled out a chainsaw and attempted to cut Joey's dick off with it. All of this whining from the man, if you look up the word asshole in the dictionary, you'd see a picture of Joey Logano. So Christopher Bell wins the $1 million, and Joey Logano is still insufferable. Now let's quickly do some awards. This is why no one likes you, you big dumb dipshit, goes to Ross Chastain for that bullshit he pulled at Kansas. Look, I'm a dum-dum sitting here in Crocs screaming into my laptop, but if we look back at that crash, it looks like Josh Berry gets up into Ross just a little bit. Ross collects the car and is nowhere near the wall, and then just drives down onto Josh Berry. If that is the truth, and I believe it is, that is a load of bullshit. It's not the same as intentionally hooking someone, but that's absolutely disgusting! The Well, You Tried Champ award goes to Chase Elliott for Kansas. He was running second through most of stage 2 before getting shuffled back and finishing 15th due to trouble on pit road. The I'm literally begging you to show us less ads award goes to Fox for the broadcast. Please, for the love of God, show us the damn race. Rewatching the races on YouTube is so nice. We don't miss any of the action. I don't have to see the dumb Ross Chastain beer commercial 20 times. It's so relaxing. The What Have You Done to Anchor God award goes to Brad Keselowski. Brad has no top 10s so far, only 3 top 20s, and has finished 30th or worse 5 times out of the 12 races so far. The Denny Hamlin Midseason Collapse Award goes to Denny Hamlin for DNFing the last 2-point races. One for engine go bang bang at Texas, the other for gearbox go at Kansas. The I Didn't Hear the Bell Award goes to Max Verstappen for reminding everyone that he is in fact a stone cold killer. The Did You Really Just Say That award goes to Joey Logano, who after the All-Star race said he doesn't like gimmicks, referring to the promoter caution that gave Bell the chance to pass Joey. Really, Joey? You don't like gimmicks? Nobody has benefited more from NASCAR gimmicks than Joey Logano, who has won 3 gimmicked championships. Everyone say it with me. Fuck Joey Logano. This coming weekend is Racing Christmas. We'll have the Monaco Parade, the Indy 500, and then the Coke 600. And since I missed last week, I'm cooking up something special for that day. So to review, Ross Chastain has a worse war crime record than the Soviet Union. I still hate Joey Logano. Alex Palou has the simulator set to easy. Max Verstappen has returned to signal the start of the end times. And Christopher Bell does torture like Mexican drug cartels. Breaking news. In IndyCar, Team Penske has been found cheating ahead of the Indy 500. Now, I'm too dumb to understand what exactly they did, but apparently it was enough for Roger Penske to fire all the senior executives. Always a great look. I'm sure nothing more will be said about it.